Hi everyone, I'm April and welcome to Ask Vinnie Thompson Daily Zoom meetings. Today we'll talk about moving during COVID-19. Special guests, Realtors from Arizona, David and Christy Lott, and Realtors from Florida, the Bolden team, Calvin and Rondra Bolden. So Vinnie, take it away.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, April.
Thank you, April.
Appreciate it. We got
Welcome.
some star power in the building here. For all the people looking to escape from New York, from the high taxes, the expensive living, the dollar amount of what you get if you're looking to retire or start off and get a lot more for your money, honestly. New York is a very expensive state. I can attest to that being a New Yorker for almost 50 years. Being here is not cheap. It's not for the soft of heart. So, which is why I want to bring on some of my referral partners and let people know the value of being a Keller Williams agent is that we are national and international. And Keller Williams does a lot of things well. One of them is referral partners from other states. So I like to focus on states where New Yorkers love to retire to. That definitely will be Florida and then also Arizona. Sorry, Boltons, if I had a place to retire, I always been a snowbird of mine is Arizona. In my mind, I've never been there. It's the perfect place to go to. So that being said, without further ado, I'll introduce to you Christy Lott and her husband. Christy, take it away.
Hello. I'm Christi Lott. This is my husband, David Lott.
Hello.
We are realtors here in the greater Phoenix Valley
David
of
Lott.
Arizona. And we specialize in buyers and sellers, but specifically folks who are relocating into Arizona. People are moving into Arizona from all across the United States, specifically from the Northeast and the Midwest and the Northwest and California. I have helped folks relocate from all of those places. And I also specialize in second home, vacation homes. So some people just want a really wonderful lock and leave type of winter getaway. And when I say winter, I mean 6 months out of the year. October through April is absolutely stunning here. You will wear shorts and a t-shirt and sandals and golf all during that time, and it's really a wonderful place to be. Love to talk to anybody about moving into Arizona.
Okay, now what makes your brand special, Christy? Me and your husband share some things in common, and I see you even posted very boldly on your website.
Will you share the fact that you're both retired law enforcement? David, you want to
Yes.
introduce yourself?
Yeah, I spent 30 years with Los Angeles Police Department, and in anticipation of moving out here and retiring, and looking for the next phase in our life. That's why we got involved in real estate, and Christy became a dynamic force out here in the real estate market.
Smart man, smart man. NYPD, LAPD. I know people tell me all the time, thank you for your service, but I did 20 years. You did 30, man. So I salute you. I'm giving you a virtual salute
Well, I
for
appreciate
that,
that.
that time, you
Thank
know?
you. Yeah, I really,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends specifically in the police department that retire to Arizona, especially coming from New York because it's so expensive here. I almost gotten used to it until you speak to other people and they tell you like what you can purchase and how much you can purchase it for. So give me like an idea, Christy. If I'm retiring or if I want to buy, and I don't want to buy in New York, I want to buy in Arizona. Like what's some of your prices and what do you get for that?
Well, if it depends on what you're looking for, obviously, there's a vast price range here. But if you're looking to retire here and you'd like to buy into, say, an active adult community because you want to golf, you want to be involved in lots of outdoor activities, you want to be involved in clubs, you can Scottsdale within about 20 minutes. We like to dine out a lot. We like to go to a lot of sporting events. So if you wanted to buy in a non-age restricted community, you can buy a beautiful 3,000 square foot home with 4 bedrooms and a pool and a nice sized lot for anywhere from 350 to, I'd say the average is about $499. So
Those are really great price points. Definitely no comparison to what we have here. Different market, different setup, and I would imagine people that come from the Northeast, especially New York, find great value when they go from New York to Arizona. And you mentioned earlier about the taxes. Tell us a little bit about that.
So we do have state income tax in Arizona, but it is very low. It averages about 4%. And it's lower depending upon your income, obviously. But I think it tops out at about 4.5%. And then the property taxes are also very reasonable. It's harder to quote property tax because they have a lot of formulas and secrets that they use, but it's generally less than about 1%.
Right.
It's less than that, about anywhere from 0.75 to 0.89, something like that. So if you purchase a $250,000 home, you're probably paying around $2,000 a year in property taxes. So very reasonable.
That's very, very reasonable. 2,000. I can't even mind. Can't even compute 2,000 taxes for like anything, even like for a condo co-op here. I just sold a condo, and the taxes were like $4,500 for a condo. Just a different place, but very attractive for those that want to retire just the same, to get a lot more for your money. So I'm going to switch over to the Boldens, who are in Florida. So everybody, this is the Bolden team, all right? Rondra and Calvin Bolden. So tell us about Florida, because Florida is important, because I haven't met a New Yorker whose dream is not to somehow buy some property in Florida, be they from the Caribbean, be they from Europe. Everybody loves Florida. Is they have big, big hubs there, transportations. Whenever I go on my cruises, it's a big stopover. Tell us about Florida, which all New Yorkers and people want to get warmer seem to know about.
Yes. So we are actually located in Central Florida. So we're in the middle of the state. As you mentioned, we pretty much have buyers that come from all over the United States. And even we have a lot of people that come down from Canada also. So I'm Rondra Bolden, Calvin Bolden. We're a team with Keller Williams, the Bolden team. And we also specialize with relocation buyers. We do both sales and buys, but relocation buyers and first-time home buyers here in Central Florida.
Okay, and now you say Central Florida. For those of us from New York, give me the towns. Right? You say Central Florida, I'm like, okay, where's that? Tampa, or Orlando.
So
I have no idea.
So mainly Orlando, and then when you're looking at counties, there's Orange County, Seminole County, and Osceola County.
And we also do Polk County as
Okay.
well. In Lake County.
Yes.
Okay, now how far is that from Disney? That's what everybody. How far is that from Disney? That's our point of reference. You can tell me how far from Disney. Period.
Yes.
So everybody asks that question when they're looking to buy a house from New York, from wherever they're relocating from. How far is it from Disney? So they usually want to be within that 40, 45-minute range from Disney. So Central Florida, we go as far north as Deltona, and as far south as
Ponciana area.
Ponciana.
So we were right
Okay,
there.
and I know you guys also have a varying price range of things. What could I get? Let's say a starter home in Florida for average starter home, and what might the taxes be on that home?
Yep. So just say you want a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, very nice community, HOA, pool home. We're running around between $280 and $325 average.
Okay,
and
now HOA
$2,500
home.
a year.
Okay, HOA is what?
Homeowners Association.
Okay, all right. That's real important for us in New Yorkers to say, because we don't have too many towns like that necessarily. Not in the 5 boroughs. If you go further upstate and further in Suffolk and Nassau County, They may have that in like certain towns, but we don't have too much of that here. All
Mhm.
right, that's pretty good. And what about your taxes?
So taxes on that size home is going to range between $2,500 to $3,500 a year.
Okay, and income taxes?
We don't have any state taxes here in Florida.
Zero state taxes. So when you go to the grocery store, there are no additional taxes on your bill.
Okay, all
Yes,
right,
and
because
so that's another benefit when people come here. Obviously, Florida, you're going to get the weather. We don't have all of the seasonality that you all have there in the Northeast. We're pretty much spring and summer here. So that's what really keeps our market going. As we mentioned, we're near all of the major parks, your Disney World, your SeaWorld, your Universal Studios. And so we have a really strong vacation market here also. It's similar to what Christy mentioned. So if someone's looking for a primary home, in which we did with a lot of people that relocate from New York, they usually sell their home there in New York, take that lump sum, a small portion of it, buy their property here, and
right,
they're still living pretty nice. Or somebody that just wants a second home here. So a second home probably would have been really great for a lot of people during the quarantine or
right,
during the
yeah, for
stay-at-home
sure.
order. Yeah, at least you're down here, you're sitting on your screened-in patio, you're swimming in your swimming pool while all of this is going on. And then also, as
Okay,
I mentioned, the vacation homes. So we have a lot of like turnkey properties. They're fully furnished properties. You can get a condo for around 150,000, and make money off of that.
And or a
that's
fully
pretty.
furnished pool home for
240.
$240.
Okay, you said a pool home?
Yes.
Fully furnished.
So we actually just went under contract 2 weeks ago with a New York buyer that will be utilizing the home as a second home here. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, fully furnished pool home for $240.
Okay, now
So
what does that
it's
mean
about
specifically?
15 minutes from Disney.
Now, what
Fully
does pool
furnished.
home? Oh, fully furnished.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. Okay, good. Yeah, that's definitely a concept I haven't thought about. Even though I've heard it, just the idea of it being from New York, my brain is like, what? How is that even possible? And I do have family members that have bought one before,
Mm-hmm.
and way back during the recession time, I had not one, not two, not three, until the recession hit me with a bat, in Florida. And then you move on, right? Because I had
Mm-hmm.
become a grown up in the last recession.
Yes.
Let me go back to Christy and Dave. Christy and Dave, tell me what set you guys apart when you're doing real estate in Arizona from other realtors, and what might I expect? What kind of service do you guys provide?
Well, we like to be extremely hands-on. I can help you find a house while you are in another state. In fact, I'm doing that right now for a client who lives there in New York City. She lives in NoHo, and she is relocating here for a couple of reasons. One, she's just has been in New York. She feels long enough. She's ready to move out to the West Coast, but also she has a new position here. So I have been going out and showing her homes virtually. We can do FaceTime. I can do very in-depth videos, but I'm just a really hands-on agent. I like to have a really thorough and sometimes lengthy buyer consultation with the buyer to find out what really are they looking for, what do they like to do, what kind of activities, what kind of lifestyle do they want to live here, and then I set them up on a search, and they can show me what they like, and that's what I usually have them do. Show me the types of properties that you're interested in. Then they show them to me, and then that helps me to also do my own searches and send them properties that sound like something they'd be interested in. And then I just advise them. I advise them really well, and I walk them through the entire process so that they know what to expect. I help with all of the inspections. Inspections are really mandatory, that they know exactly the condition of the property that they're getting. So here in Arizona, I advise my clients, you have to have a general home inspection and a termite check, but you also really need to spend a little extra money and have an HVAC system checked, right? If you're going to be here in the summer, you have to have an air conditioning system.
Right.
So we make sure that it's in good working order so that you don't get in there and in 3 months you need a new one. We want to know the condition of that air conditioning unit. I have an HVAC technician who's wonderful for that. I also send out a roofer to check the roof. We want to know what's the condition of the roof. If the folks choose an older home built in the 1970s, then I will always suggest that we also do a sewer line scope. We want to know what is the condition of that sewer line. We don't want any expensive surprises if we can help it, right? So I advise on all of that. I attend those inspections. If the client can't attend those, that's fine. We can do some kind of FaceTime or video chat with the inspectors so that they can talk face-to-face with the inspectors on what they discovered. I help with, obviously, with negotiations, right? I mean, I know the market really well. I know what kind of offers people need to make, and I will guide them through all of that as well.
And we're also uniquely situated to take advantage of the relocations from the law enforcement. As you well know, Vinny, that it's a brotherhood, it's a sisterhood within the law enforcement communities, and especially guys that with our time on or the time that we spent in law enforcement, we know a lot of people. And so we're kind of uniquely situated to take advantage of those retiring type of police officers and detectives out there that want to relocate to another state, particularly Arizona.
Right, right. And I find that in New York proper, sometime when I first really started getting into the Keller Williams model in the system and finding out what's going on in other states, it also makes you jealous, right? Because you guys have new construction, you have newer construction, you have what you said, Christy, which is laughable, old homes, 1970. I just sold a house in Brooklyn that was built like in 1890. That's an old house. This 1970s business, I don't know about this, but
I did just sell a historic home that was built in 1930 in downtown Phoenix.
right, right. Okay, all right. So you have true old homes.
You guys are older on the East Coast.
Yeah.
We're younger.
Yeah. I know. We gave you the blueprints on how to build cities, right? Everybody piggybacked on our back on how to, do it right as we revamp a place made for horse and buggies, to fit all these people here.
Some other things that that I also do is I help my clients get the proper financing. So I have 4 lenders that I work with pretty consistently that are trusted and proven, and I think it is really vital that buyers choose their lender wisely. That can make or break the experience that they have is dependent upon the lender. If they need a loan, some people come with cash, but if they need a loan, I can refer them to several lenders that are excellent, have very, very low rates, including Keller Mortgage. We have an excellent loan officer with Keller Mortgage who has done a fantastic job for our clients. So we also do that. And I have title and escrow companies that I particularly like to work with because I know that they always go above and beyond for our clients, make sure that everything is perfect for them and really take care of the client really well. And I'm there at the closing table with all of my clients. We're not an attorney state here, so we work with an escrow and title officers. And then as realtors, I always like to sit in on the signing of the loan docs and all the papers because questions do come up. So I am there all the way to the close. Obviously, in the time of COVID, it's a little bit different, so we're having to use mobile notaries. But what I do is I make myself available. I block out that time that they're going to be signing, and I tell the buyers, I am sitting by my phone. Any question comes up, no matter how trivial, anything doesn't seem right, you just pick the phone and we will work it out and clarify and make sure that everything's correct. In advance of that, I would, of course, have already gone over the settlement statement and made sure that all of that was done properly as well.
And it's funny you mentioned that, Christy. I don't know if you're on the call we had yesterday, with the advent of COVID is so strict. I was actually here doing another Zoom call as a deal was closing. My clients had already moved to the Carolinas. The buyers were closing with their buyer's attorney in their office. I had previously dropped off the key, safe because the house was vacant. And I was just waiting to get the phone call. Hey, is everything okay? And everything was okay. So I believe they closed and funded today. So I did the walkthrough. They did the walkthrough on their own. And we were able to close virtually. And it's funny you mentioned the attorney state. when I have clients that are transferring from New York to other states, when you tell them they don't need an attorney, it's almost like, what do you mean? You must be mistaken. I know you're very good at your job, but I need an attorney. No, you don't. A lot of states are not attorney states. Settlement companies can do it. And when I purchased in other states, it's like mind blowing, and using someone who has a referral of, that lender and that relationship and those inspectors is key for you to win.
That's right. We're going to take really good care of them. We pride ourselves in taking such great care of all of our buyers and sellers. And that's how we receive so many referrals, because people have a wonderful and easy experience with us, and they know that we truly care about them, and they want to tell their friends and family, and we really appreciate that.
All right, the Bolden experience. So I know you guys also give great service. So tell us, someone looking to transfer from, like you said, from international, Northeast, anywhere, what can they expect? And when we're at the closing table, because things can get they're difficult everywhere. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, everything you heard about New York is true. 100%, 10 exit.
Look,
It
we
is the
know.
Wild Wild West, gun in hand, pow, pow, pow. It is exactly like that. It is the concrete jungle, but I'm like the battered child. It's what I know. I don't know any better. So, I would go in Arizona and Florida. I'm like, I'm never going back there. You people are normal. New York is crazy. But it's always important to have that team, and it's really the happy dance, because
Yes.
you try, and I'm sure as you guys do, uh, prevent your clients from going through so much problems before we get there, in guiding them and having that strong relationship, right? That referral partner, from the title company to the settlement to the banks to the inspectors, to avoid these problems that they might go through. We kind of foresee them and, kind of maneuver to help them get to that closing table, because it is and can be a rough road to get there, and experience and great referral partners, makes it great, and I always tell, if I can catch someone before they go, to Arizona or to Florida, to get that referral partner going, because you hear, stories of people that were not prepared and, didn't have someone representing their best interests on the biggest purchase that they control, which is your
Yeah.
home.
That's
Yeah,
Mhm.
they have 401ks, but they're far in the distance. They go up, they go down, like we discussed earlier. But this is what you control, and you need help doing that. This is not a few dollars. In some instances, 300, 400, half a million, $1 million. It's good to get guidance for that.
Yeah.
And
So it's a major purchase for them, but it's also a very, it should be a very happy experience. I'm getting ready to retire. I'm, buying my first vacation home, or this is the home that I'm going to enjoy with my family. And so we want to make sure that that transaction and transition is as smooth as possible, and that, we're excited, they're excited, and we keep that excitement throughout the entire transaction.
and it's funny you mentioned it. Say again, Calvin.
And after the transaction also.
So
Absolutely, right?
yes, we're also that resource afterwards when they have questions, and just, now that they're relocating here, they're getting settled. What's a really nice restaurant to eat at? Where should I go if I want to hear some jazz music? When are the basketball games coming up? Those are the types of things that, we still stick around for all of that afterwards, because we have, Orlando Magic, Orlando City Soccer. We have a really thriving theater program here, jazz music, any and everything here in Central Florida. So we make sure that people that do relocate get involved and get engaged in the community.
Okay, now you guys are showing off. Okay, don't rub it in, and you got the weather. Okay, just don't. Okay, you're not. Now you're showing off. Now you're showing off. Okay, stop it. Stop it. Um, in addition to that, it's funny you mentioned having an agent. When I bought, I was investing in real estate. I was still working full time at the police department. Looking back, I really wish I had an agent. because what I really want to do is I want to buy and I wanted to rent. And I didn't realize the sternness of some HOAs where they're like, no, you can't rent. And no, you cannot do vacation rentals. But if I had a realtor, they would have given me the parameters of what I could do and what I can't do. No, buy
Yeah.
here, don't buy there. This builder's known for this builder's known for that. And I think some people seemingly, they go, they see something, maybe they engage a builder, maybe they engage a realtor, maybe they don't, and they rush back to New York. I want to sell my house, and then they get something, and that may not be what fits their lifestyle and what they want to do. You know,
Correct.
ultimately, are your kids going to come later on? Can you have visitors or people staying in a
Mm-hmm.
retirement community? You know, so all these questions a realtor can ask you to give you the, you know, the best service, you know, for them and what their needs will be, you know?
Yes, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, so Christy and Dave, before we go, this won't be too long. Tell me if someone wants to relocate to Arizona and they're coming from someplace else, what should they consider besides calling you guys? Like what's some things to think about?
Well, they obviously have to decide what part of Arizona they're interested in, right?
Right,
We're in the Phoenix Valley, so this is the southern part of the state. So the southern part of the state in the summertime, we all know it's hot,
right,
okay? In the wintertime, we don't get any snow, all right? So we have very, very mild and beautiful days in the fall, in the winter, and in the spring. If they like to have lots of seasons and they want a milder summer, they can look at more Arizona. But northern Arizona, Sedona, Flagstaff, etc. They spend time in northern Arizona, which has a milder summer, and they'll go back and forth. Let's see, some other things to think about if you want to move to Arizona. A lot of folks really love to watch professional sports, and so we're lucky enough to have professional football, professional basketball, baseball season. If you are a baseball fan, this is the spring training capital, right?
Right.
You can watch all of the teams for, I don't know,
Very cheap.
low end, sit on the grass and watch the players for $25 every day
okay,
for the month of March. So that's really super fun. And then we have hockey also, right?
Yeah.
And we have two Division I colleges here, ASU, Arizona State University, as well as the University of Arizona. And that school is down in Tucson. So there's also Tucson, which is a nice town to live in. Obviously, our preference is for the Phoenix Valley because there's the most to do here in the Phoenix Valley with the sports and entertainment and all of the activities, outdoor activities and things that you can do. Lots of art and music and festivals and things like that, which we enjoy doing.
Well, there's one more thing that I think really affected us is and you don't really realize it until you move to a state, is traffic. And in LA, we were just so used to the days and days and the hours of traffic that we spend in traffic, and it really affects you mentally, but you don't know it because it's
right.
really stressful. But you have to do it. So when we got here, we really realized that to be able to move around and not be stuck in traffic on a Friday evening to get to a restaurant it's an awesome experience.
That's really good. And you mentioned different parts of Arizona. So how do you compare like the heat, right? Because I like a lot of heat, right? And they say, oh, Arizona, it's not bad. It's dry heat. Now, having coming from California, do you find that to be fact, fiction, somewhere between?
No,
You
it's
know,
totally true. It is totally true. It's while it's hot, it's not wet.
right?
It's not wet, so it's much more tolerable. Much more tolerable. Yes.
Now we do get a monsoon. We do get the monsoon season in the summertime, but usually they whisk in and they whisk right out. It's not like we're used to LA. If you have a storm, it would linger for a few days. The storms here, they come in, they do their thing, and they're out of town.
Within an hour or two, it's gone.
Yeah.
Okay, and you forgot to mention, Chrissy, you guys have a Papa Do there.
We do have. You call it Papa Do, we call it Papa Dough.
Okay, all right, okay, all right, okay.
But that's a good restaurant. But there are a plethora of amazing, unique restaurants here. And being from LA, we thought that we knew everything about great restaurants and fine dining. But I'll tell you, there are so many really incredible restaurants here in the Phoenix Valley. So when you come out for a visit, Vinny, we'll take you around.
Well, we're
absolutely
around too.
Well, we're hoping and praying that they'll be around, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, guys. So Bolden, same thing. What can you expect, or what should someone expect when it comes to moving, or what should they consider wanting to go to Florida?
What should they expect here in Central Florida?
Yeah, it's like, I want to move, what should I consider, like schools? Should I consider, what my lifestyle wants to be, what part? They mentioned commute, because I would imagine, right, commute is important, especially in a place like Florida, or maybe older folks that can't get around as, much as they used to. So maybe being in an enclosed community would be of value to somebody who didn't get to everything, or golf cart community, or whatever you guys do there.
We love our golf cart communities here. So
I would say the very first thing, and it's something that we do when we have conversations with people during that buyer's consultation, is what do you do outside of your home? What are those things that you and your family like to do? And so here in Central Florida is really unique in the sense that we have several different niche communities. So maybe you're the type who just kind of likes to walk and antique. There's a very specific community for that. Maybe you're really into fine dining and those type things. There are different communities for that also. But maybe you're that fast-paced, you like to keep moving type person, then there's a certain community for that also. So really, Central Florida has a community for just about anybody, for anything that you want to do. Obviously, people come here to retire for the weather. People love golfing. I think there's a golf course on every other block. So golfing here, fishing, and then also we're Florida, so we like to be out on the water. So we have a lot of lakes here, chains of lakes, where you can just get out, enjoy yourself on the water. Being in Central Florida, we're literally about 45 minutes away from the East Coast beaches and about an hour away from the West Coast beaches. So you can have your Clearwater at the same time. You can have your Cocoa Beach, your New Smyrna Beach, and everything else, under the sun.
You can go start your morning watching the sunrise. Hour and a half, 2 hours later, you're watching the sunset on the other side of the state.
I know. I saw you, or do some bike riding. I saw you, Calvin, doing your thing.
Yes.
I saw you, man. I ain't see you do no bunny house or burnouts or nothing like that. I thought you like some stunt riding or something,
Yes. And then weather-wise, I think
Weather's perfect.
Yeah, weather's perfect. Hurricanes, of course, we have our hurricane season. Also, the good thing about hurricanes is we get a nice week-to-week notification that they're coming, so you're able to prepare for them.
Okay.
And it does rain every day in the summertime.
Perfect. Guys, look, thank you very much for the Boldens and the Lotts. I really appreciate your time. I'm sure people found great value in this, and hopefully we'll be calling you and on the Florida side, calling on the Arizona side, and I'm holding you down in New York. All right. So,
thanks for having us, Penny. Thank you, April.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Penny.
All right,
Thank
guys.
you, everyone.
You guys have a good day.
Have a good
right.
one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I know how to do it.